Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are starting the next episode of Essay Discussion Forum. There is one great topic of argumentative essay which recently appeared in our NOAA mock exams. Uh, Political awareness leads to political polarization. Political awareness leads to political polarization. A debatable statement. You may agree with it. You may say yes. You may say no. Although promptly one would like to say नहीं जी political awareness होनी चाहिए, लाजमी नहीं सिर्फ उसके political polarization आए, लेकिन जो कुछ हम देख रहे हैं दुनिया में, पाकिस्तान में, वो इसकी एक जो ही लोग politically aware होते हैं वो एकदम से polarize हो रहे हैं. So एक बहुत अच्छी debate इसके ऊपर जो है वो possible है. We have Osama Sabir presenting this argumentative essay here today. The next on screen, you are going to watch the outline by, और already disclaimer इसके ऊपर लिखा होता है काफी broad उसने red में कि this outline is only for the research material and discussion. It is not an examination outline. बहुत से लोग इसके ऊपर confuse हो जाते हैं और हम काफी दफा इसको clear कर चुके हैं कि ये examination की outline नहीं है, सिर्फ आपके पास जो है वो research पहुंचाने का एक तरीका है. Over to you, Osama Sabir. Bismillah.
Thank you so much, sir. So this is argumentative essay topic, political awareness leads to political polarization. Before I start, this topic is actually a topic with very fine margin. It's a debatable topic, and it is separated by very fine margins because we have seen recently that political awareness has certainly contributed in some way towards political polarization. So I've started with introduction. And I have taken the stance that it does not lead to political polarization. And I have explained that how sudden spread of political awareness is confused with the polarization in the society. Therefore, even the recent trends that show the negative side of political awareness as a whole does not lead to political polarization. The overview paragraph, I have compared political awareness with political polarization. It's a comparison that awareness is actually political awareness, political consciousness. It's about the understanding of the currents or hidden agendas behind any organization, political party, or particularly the power relationship that define political relationships. Then the political polarization, on the other hand, is the divergence from that understanding. It is the divergence from that understanding of political attitudes away from the center and towards extreme ideology. So the contributing factor mainly is the extreme ideologies, not the understanding of any awareness or there. The thesis have 5 points. It is political awareness does not lead to political polarization. In the first, I have given that political awareness actually reduces political polarization, not enhances it. And that, as I have given the statistics given by US News in 2021, they did a study of 78 economies in the world, democracies in the world, and Switzerland stands at number 1. And that is the reason why it stands, because they're very politically aware about the process, what role they have to play while giving votes, while giving referendum. So they are very aware of that. And that is why there has been minimum political polarization, and that is why they have stable governments there. The second argument that I gave is the political polarization is product of extreme ideologies and lack of political awareness. Actually, it is the lack of awareness and the product of extreme ideology that give rise to political polarization. In all the countries who are facing political polarization today, they have somewhat increase in extreme political ideologies and lack of awareness in the supporter of those ideologies. Recently, I think last night, actually, Rep. Kevin McCarthy was elected the US House Presenter after multiple days of negotiation, and 15 rounds of voting were done, and it was longest in US history, US Parliament history, or US House of Representative history in 164 years. So it went to 15 rounds of voting, and that has always because of the polarization the US political system has been facing recently. But it is due to political extreme ideologies, not awareness. The second is the last point is multi-party system never faced polarization for a long period of time. This is a very interesting side that the analysis has been done that when there are multi-party systems and there is no two-party system or only few choices for the people, there is no replacement. There is a chance of replacement, that who will be, if the public is divided into two groups, there is a third party that can rise and address the issues. So multi-party systems, they face polarization. They don't face polarization for a long time. The recent trends that show this is because for a very small amount of time, for in a longer period of time, the polarization is not there. Then the D, politically aware public is conscious of demerits of polarization. So if somebody is politically aware, the role that he has to play in public affair, in political system, as a voter, as a supporter, he knows that. He's conscious about that role, what to accept and what not to accept. Then he can figure out the hidden agendas behind that. And that is actually how he or she knows the demerits of polarization. Then the next point, very interesting point, is that the difference of opinion is always sometimes mixed with the mixed with polarization. So if there is a group here in this meeting as well. There are five people and they have five different opinions. So that doesn't mean this group is polarized. Polarization takes when those five people, they represent those their individual opinions on extreme narratives, and they have this extreme mindset to portray or to protest with their ideologies, and not to accept the difference of opinion. So difference of opinion is way different from, and it is mixed with polarization. That is why some people say that political awareness leads to polarization. Then the antithesis, many argue, many believe, and that it recently been a trend that political awareness does lead to political polarization. So we cannot neglect their arguments. So what they say that politically aware people are exposed to political manifestos that can divide masses. We saw the rise of youth getting involved in Pakistan over the years, for the past 4 years. 2018 election saw this mobilization. Although the state's statistics show decrease in their voting ratio, but they are more mobilized in that, and that is what exposing them to divisive agendas. They're more exposed to this political manifesto that divide nation and polarize nation. The second argument is that political aware societies are facing polarization in recent times. Brexit was one of the major contributing factors in this political awareness, because it was led by public campaigns, and people started to vote for them. And that is why the 52-48 or 51-49 vote that was then that made Brexit, that was actually a result of political awareness in the society. So one may argue that as well. uh, Third one, in the favor of this topic, that political awareness does lead to polarization, as an antithesis, that multi-party system are more prone to political division. That the argument that I gave above, which I linked, that multi-party system over the years would not face polarization for a longer time, but the argument can be opposed, that it divides the social fabric into further parts. So there are 3, 4, 5 parts. The more division is there. The next is the demerits of polarization are too hidden between the political ideologies. So one saying that the politically aware public can know the hidden agendas, then one may argue in opposition that ordinary public is unable to dissect the hidden agendas. What the party internal meeting is all about, what they discussed today, what the PMLN discussed today, what PDI discussed today. They don't know about that, what the hidden agenda is behind that. So one may argue that as well. The next one, the last antithesis, is that polarization only happens when there is a difference of opinion. And it is an argument that if there is no difference of opinion, there is no polarization. So Saudi Arabia never faced political polarization because there is no difference of opinion. If there is, the Kingdom of Saudi will oppress them, and that is why there is authoritative regime. So there is a concept of authoritative regimes having positive sides, because they don't have polarization, because they don't have difference of opinion. There is one government. But now the synthesis, even considering the recent trends in politics, the rise of polarization across the world, in Italy, UK, and wherever, US and Pakistan, even considering those recent trends, political awareness is not responsible. It is not the sole responsible. Although some subtle fabrics or certain contributive factors may be a part of it, but overall, in general, political awareness is not responsible for political polarization, and that's the synthesis. The number one is exposing to political manifestos increase political consciousness. Gallup's survey showed that the argument that I was giving at the earlier, that when politically aware people are there, they are not they have a say, and they don't get fall for extreme ideologies. And the youth voter turnout, it was even lower than women in 2018 in past two elections. So when we say that our youth has now been mobilized, they are now involved in politics, but their interest has decreased because because the choices are not good. So that means that our political aware, although there is a ratio in our social fabric that there is political polarization, but that is because of political extreme ideologies, not because of political conscious people. Political conscious people are always alone. They are side of the debates. Nobody listens to them, and that is what is mixed with political awareness and political polarization, because political awareness is very different than what is actually contributing to political polarization. The second part is the second synthesis is the societies affected by polarization are least politically aware. I mean, if you argue that political polarization is in UK happened because of political awareness, yes. But what sort of political awareness? Because it was backed by extreme political ideologies. The parties were supporting. The parties were the groups that were actually behind that. There were two major parties in UK which assisted that. So Brexit didn't divide UK like polarization did in other countries. UK is still running on, right? There is no such major instability on them, although there have been pros and cons of the Brexit, but there is no proper, say, the visible polarization in their fabric as compared to the ones that are actually facing political polarization due to extreme political ideologies, because they don't believe in the system. But UK system, people believe in that system. They are going to use the parliament for that, not the extreme mindset of having dharnas and having marches. So that leads to political polarization. Political awareness doesn't lead to that. The next argument is the synthesis that multiple candidates for government keep democracy alive. Multiple candidates, if there are multiple choices, then they are obviously they are going to contribute towards the stability of the government, because if there are two choices that are extreme, people will rely on the third one in order to save the country. But that is because when they have to be political aware. If they are not political aware, then that would certainly lead to political polarization. But again, it is because of extreme ideologies, not because of political awareness. It is actually because of lack of political awareness. Then political awareness addresses these hidden agendas too. In the fourth argument of the antithesis, we saw that demerits of polarization are too hidden. But actually, the definition of political awareness is actually to reveal those hidden ideas. One who is political aware is only political aware when he is aware of those hidden agendas. We cannot say a person who is influenced and it got effect of political polarization. He is not political aware if he's got fall for political polarization. If he is or she is political aware, he knows that there are hidden agendas behind and personal gains behind those extreme ideologies. Last but not least, extreme stance on one's idea leads to polarization and not merely difference of opinion. One, if there are two-person, I have given the example of five people in this presentation. If they have five different agendas, if they are presenting their ideas, they have difference of opinion. We say that the opinion is divided, but it is not polarized. It is only going to be polarized when either of them, two of them, or three of them are going to stick to them with extreme mindset. And merely difference of opinion is not going to lead to political polarization. And that is how I am going to defend this topic, that political polarization is not because of political awareness. It is because of other reasons, that political extreme ideologies that they use. Then there is the conclusion, and I have concluded this topic. Sir, थोड़ा सा नीचे करेंगे. Sir, and then Noam Chomsky का ये quote है कि even since I have had any political awareness, I have felt either alone or part of a tiny majority. So we have understand who are actually political aware people in order to answer this debate. You see, when there you see some certain political debate going on, and you see some people, they are behind the corners, they're observing everything. They're just seeing both sides of the debates, and they have their third opinion. They have this balanced approach, but they're of very tiny majority. They are either alone or they're. So if you are going to say that political awareness is going to lead political polarization, that you are going to defend that tiny majority is going to affect the whole diaspora, which is impossible, because publicly aware people are in very tiny minority. So I'm going to defend this topic, that political awareness does not lead to political polarization. I'll conclude here. Over to you, sir.
Excellent. Excellent discussion. Excellent discussion. Throughout this meeting, throughout this presentation, I had a smile on my face all the time. because of receiving so much intellectual work, so much intellect at play, that I was smiling. And this is what happens when mostly people are watching great argumentation going on. One single mind is thinking of one point, and that single mind is presenting the opposite opinion also, the negative capability of a mind. And
Thank
that
you so much.
mind is then capable of defending his and all the ये जो आपने सारी की सारी headings सब headings देखी हैं, सब potential है. कोई भी एक आप ऐसी नहीं कह सकते नहीं जी आपका point बहुत हल्का है, इसके ऊपर तो बात जो है वो तो ये तो valid ही नहीं है. नहीं, एक से एक बढ़ के argument इसके अंदर मौजूद है. और it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It gives so much intellectual exercise that I had a smile on my face all the time while Osama was presenting this great outline.
Well, sir, thank you, sir.
If Osama permits me, I would like to share this outline in the new EDF attendees group. There are about 400 people there. And I will
Yes,
request
sir.
you,
Yes.
that this great outline is a very good lesson in how to write an argumentative essay also. So if you permit me, because you have the intellectual property rights of this. और कोई outline हमने कभी share नहीं की, but this one I would like to.
Sir, you can share that, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No
तो
problem, sir.
ये हम ऐसे discussion forum में I would like to share this. Thank you very much for this great outline. Incidentally, this topic was announced rather late, so इसके ऊपर हमारे पास सिर्फ एक ही outline है because examination CSS के बिल्कुल करीब है, तो मैं ज़्यादा engage नहीं कर रहा presenters को आजकल इस activity में. और we are going to present one more topic, water shortage with the future of humanity. उसके ऊपर एक और हम टॉपिक डिस्कस करेंगे later on. आज की मीटिंग हम यहाँ पे जो है वो conclude करेंगे. Thank you very much for attending. Okay.